during that short time, initially I met an MD there, and after some time he left, another MD came in, and then contrasting the 2 times, some things just crop up. In fact, I didn't know we have that much equipment. There were just some equipment that were bought and they were just locked up somewhere. Nothing is happening. They have not been used. Nobody was trained to use them. You know, and whenever the commissioner is coming, everything just, you know, you see ultrasound machines, doctors are not trained to use them, they are working. ECG machines, doctors are not trained to use them. So, in fact, towards the time when I was leaving, I discovered that we even had 2 incubators, and you know, I was wondering. So we had all these things, and there was no training on how to use these things. I don't even know how long these things have been there. So we begin to say that we are not getting enough, the government does not care enough. We should also put ourselves in their shoes. Like you said, the doctor cannot wash the toilet. We don't expect the governor to come to each hospital and, you know, begin to fix petty things. Usually the governor is not even a doctor. And out of respect for doctors, he doesn't want to be rude to them. But we really have to look at these things. Most of the things you have mentioned, some of those things your wife went through with your wife, I'm sorry to say, could be rectified without even involving the government.
I didn't even blame the government.
Because if you look at it, I saw the difference when one person just came into office and using the same resources, the same, nothing just started working. You know, so at times we need to look at these things too. It's not just the government, besides even our own government, within ourselves. I am scared to have a doctor, you know, at the top at times, because at times the doctor, like you said, they don't consider management or managerial, you know, they just say, look, I'm the consultant. When I talk, everybody say amen.
So, you see the reason, I'll come back to what I said in the beginning, that this forum should start to create, and it's because the sectors work separately. The truth is, if you create a system, this forum, where you, the professionals, are here, the academics are also here, per chance, they will start to include some management courses. They started.
Yes, it's now part of the fellowship programs. They started including management courses.
Management courses.
Yes.
Because they will know that it is eventually needed. But look at all these things that we are saying now. If there were policy makers here, right, maybe they would have taken the message as well. That was why I said maybe. Let's move on.
Okay, I think that there's something I need to say here. You see, if as a country we see ourselves as the 3rd world country that we are,
4th.
That's you see, I know that, let's say John Hopkins, for example, in the US, the whole budget, the running budget for John Hopkins alone will go near the budget of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay? But let us look at, okay, the little that we even have. How efficiently
is the spending?
Now, let us look at it. Let's say that the health budget for Nigeria is 100 billion. Let us assume. But what exactly comes to work in the system is about 10%, you know, because along the line, you know, and when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, what comes to the patient? That is one aspect of it. The other part of it is that the people that work in the system, what exactly do you think you're doing? I'll quickly run this example by one day where I work. Some time ago, as the president of the Association of Resident Doctors, there was no electricity in the hospital. So they were running some kind of generators. The major generators were bad, so the smaller one they were using, I was passing by the admin and there was electricity in the office of the MD. But there was no electricity in the NNU, neonatal unit,
Yes, sir.
and there was no electricity in the emergency. Of course, empowered by my office as president, I busted into the office of the MD and I said, sir, you have light? He said, yes. But NNU does not have. Emergency does not have. You cannot have. And he understood immediately, he didn't know. I said, then, what does the engineer working here? Where does he work? Where did he think he is working? If the engineer knows he's working in a hospital, understand what a hospital is, he should know that even if nobody has electricity, NNU must have, ICU must have. The MD can relocate under a tree. You understand? So those are some of the, yeah, so those are some of the issues.
Most of the success in the healthcare sector in recent times is the private labor. Per naira, per unit naira, you can't compare private with public. Government is a poor manager of resources. Sell all the hospitals. That's what they should do.
Yes, sir.
I was waiting to make this experience at the end of the program. No, I was talking about this window dressing when government officials are coming. I want to mention names so I can verify it. The current general manager at NTA Abeokuta, when the wife of the governor was coming, she told us that she went and said, Madam, don't come. Hey, I can't kill myself. Let her come, Joe. And the man came to tell everybody, the wife of the governor. So these are NTAs. Within 1 week, the woman went back to the governor and the place was put into proper share. What I'm saying here, because of this psychophancy, because of green my power and people, that's why things are getting worse and worse and worse. Let us face the reality. Help us to come when we face reality.
Yes. You see, let me just, you see, what I'm trying to say here is that I said something in the beginning when I was quoting J.F. Kennedy. Even if I'm not in a position, that talk, we need to continue. If we don't keep creating a forum where that talk keep happening, consistent, you know what I'm happy, I said I was happy about this place, is that when conferences and summits have to be held about the health, we should not go and hold it at Transcorp Hilton. It's only in Nigeria that I know that they do a cultural conference at Sheraton. How many farmers will go to Sheraton? That is the Nigerian system for you at Transcorp Hilton. So why should we go and do an health summit at Transcorp Hilton? Why not in an hospital? Why not go and do that summit in UCH? Let me round up. And your workforce is equally as important because they are the ones that will run your processes. That will run the processes, that will satisfy those people. So, I mean, for private hospitals, you need to put this in place for you to have that financial stability. How we are going to solve the issue of the government hospital? Right now, I don't know. As of today, I don't have a clue. I was still telling Dr. Azim that we need to conduct a research, and I was even volunteering that, you know, because we have IT guys in my office that will develop applications, that can we actually automate, I was saying FMC, can we get to FMC and see if we can help them automate the system without paying a kobo? But they say some people will not make it ever work. That's a serious issue. I don't even know. Let's just move on. If you have a solution to what we can do, let's solve this problem. It's a fundamental problem. So it is important, like I said, as hospitals. Now, I will challenge you with this. If you cannot run your strategy by each hospital individually because it will cost you, let's come together and run a joint one. So that while that session is going, you and your team can start forming how your hospital will operate. You can begin to build that. And you can begin to transfer it when you get back to your department, to your team, to the lowest of the employees, because they need to know why they are there. That's how we can set the difference. So if the government hospitals are not working well, this is an edifice. Okay? Other hospitals can change. I mean, if they want to kill it the way they've killed it, the way we killed the public primary schools today, you know, public secondary schools today, public universities today, gone moribund. It's a fundamental issue. The same problem that is in the health sector is in the educational sector, is in the built environment, construction sector, is in virtually every sector. Now DNA.
Started with education.
I went to UNAM a couple of months ago. I was invited to come and speak during the 30th anniversary as a keynote speaker. The school invited me, and I was so glad that I could tell them how they failed me when I was a student until now. Yet the VC was there, all of them were there, and I told them that they failed us, and they're still failing us. And I have no mark again to get from them. So I can tell them the truth. And I showed them something. That this is agri-economics syllabus in UNAM, and this is agri-economics syllabus in Edinburgh University in UK. Agri-economics. In UK, in Edinburgh University, in 100 level first semester, you are doing 4 courses. In UNAM, you are doing about 11 courses. In 100 level first semester in Edinburgh University, 100 level first semester, you are already testing hypothesis. In 500 level in UNAM, you don't even know what an hypothesis is. See, I said the same syllabus I went through. I left school in 2002. It's the same syllabus that is still running till date. Where you will teach. I said, you wasted 3 years of my life. And today, every university wastes 3 years of people's life. Where you are teaching me physics, chemistry, biology, that I was taught in secondary school. What is the essence of the repetition? I did WAEC, I did JAM. Why are you repeating the same thing that I learned in secondary school? It's a waste of time. So the course I went to study, you start to study it in 400 level. That is the situation. I'm talking about just about 3 months ago. That is the current situation of the Nigerian educational system. No curriculum review, and that's what we are suffering from. And that's what is affecting every sector. What is changing? Okay? Even today, how many, I had a doctor friend, they have this forum in UC, they call them the forum, they always do presentation. So one of them is one of my mentees. She wanted to do something, and she had to present something on innovation strategy. I gave her some materials that she used, and she said, none of them have heard about innovation strategy before. As medical students, in this age and time. In this age and time. So how will such people be able to compete with their peers outside the country? Alright. So one of the things you review in your strategy, I'll just run over it. Why do you exist? What are your goals? Who are your people? What areas do you want to focus on? What resources do we need to put in place? How will we differentiate ourselves? These are key things you need to identify as an organization, as an establishment. You need to make it clear so that you're not just operating. And that is why a typical Nigerian business does not survive the owner. Because we don't plan. Only few businesses in Nigeria have survived the owner. Because we don't build a system. Everything revolves around the person. And after the person is gone, the business dies a natural death. Okay? So do you have a vision? Have you created a change agenda? Do you have strategic themes? Have you created your strategic objectives? What about your measures and targets? Do you have initiatives and milestones? What about the culture of your organization? Your organizational culture, what do you stand for? What is your leadership strength like? You see, these things look so simple. As simple as it is the foundation of what you want to establish as an institution. So I'm skipping some of these things because I will still give the material. So as much as possible, you need to build a performance culture in the organization where everything works together, where you need to build the competency about your KPIs, the key performance indicator. That's our whole performance is our own area of expertise because we know that this works very well. You need to be able to build it. We're doing something for Ministry of Health in Lagos State. We're starting. It's massive. It's crazy. Building a performance architecture for the Ministry of Health, linking everything together. And a lot of things are evolving. What is happening in the Ministry of Health is linked to what is happening in the Ministry of Water Resources, how it is linked to this. When you see the way things work, then you know that things can be made to happen. It is possible and I believe it can be done. It depends on us. Nobody's going to come and correct our country for us. United States does not like us. Nobody likes us. Let us be realistic with ourselves. It was on a Sunday that we arrived. We're not going to see a doctor on a Sunday. They picked us from the airport. They brought us to the hospital to see the hospital and they drove us to our apartment. And